Hey everybody, Joe here. Back to talk about watches. Just gonna do a quick, not so much an opening of the box video because I've already done that. If I had done a fresh out of the box, it would have been 5 minutes of me unwrapping plastic off the actual watch itself. So we're gonna skip ahead 24 hours later after I've worn it for a day and give you kind of impressions. So what we have is watch brand a little unfamiliar to most Americans, Yema out of France. Some of you may have heard of them. Some of you may have not. They're from the eastern portion of France, very close to the Swiss border, actually. So if you actually kind of look at this little map, so this is where they're located, Morteau, France, and actually the Swiss border is right here. So they're not far from Switzerland, where kind of the capital of all watchmaking is. But anyway, so the watch comes with this little booklet, kind of gives you a little bit of information on the company. They were founded in 1948 in France. They actually have quite a storied history in terms of making dive watches, military style watches. Things of that nature, Navy graph. I mean, so they've actually make some really cool watches, chronographs. This is an example of some of their chronograph watches, Air Force watches, military watches, things like that. So that's what we're going to talk about. Actually, this is a limited edition Air Force watch. So this was actually designed in collaboration with the French Air Force to be kind of their official aviator's watch slash Air Force diver's watch. So when you get it, it actually comes in this nice little storage case, which actually doubles as a travel case. So if you want to wear a watch and travel with the watch, you kind of got this nice it's got some structure to it, so it's not going to crush. Kind of a nice little deal. Not unsimilar to other cases that Yema watches would come in. This is an example of another one that I have. This just matches the watch band of the other watch that I have. So kind of the same kind of deal. Nothing super special when you get this watch other than it has the military Air Force insignia on it. And you would open it up, and then you're presented with the watch. Now, the watch, when it comes wearing a steel band. I, of course, have swapped this over to the extra band that it comes with, which is this canvas and leather strap. I find these more comfortable. I generally, on all my watches, whether they're high end or low end, they do not have a bracelet. I just find them uncomfortable. But anyway, so you would open it up. You get your warranty card, which tells you your model, date of purchase, who you would contact, all that stuff for warranty issues. And then other than that, you would have the watch and its extra strap, which it is wearing. So pretty standard stuff there. But the watch itself, like I said, most of you may be unfamiliar with Yema in the United States. They not one you're going to see advertised anywhere, anything like that. It's kind of, I heard about it with just word of mouth, and I started looking into them. And I have a couple Yemas, and this is my first automatic Yema. And what caught my eye with this, that I was actually shopping for an all-black watch, trying to find something interesting, and I'd been wanting to buy a Yema Superman with a in-house movement. And then all of a sudden, I got a notification back in April that they were going to pre-order for this watch. And this watch was delivered, it's now the end of August. So several months of waiting, but that was okay. So what you end up getting with this is a 41 mil. So 41 millimeter case. It is sapphire. On the back, you have the French Air Force logo. This is number 125 of 1948. So my understanding is they're going to make 1948 version or copies of this watch in the black, 1948 versions in the steel, and then they also have a quartz version in black and in steel, and there will be 1948 of those. So Not super high quantities. If you're in the United States, you're very much not likely to come across someone wearing another one if you happen to get one of these. It does feature the pretty typical of Yema. They've got their arrow hands, and then what they call the second hand is a shovel head. So it kind of resembles a little shovel. And then, so you have down at 6 o'clock, you have the French Air Force logo, and again on the crown. And at the bottom at 6 indicates France. It is an automatic movement. This is Yema's in-house movement. It's the MBP 1000. It's a 31 joule movement, 28,800. And it is good for 30 atmospheres or 990 feet. That's 300 meters for those of you counting. It also features the bezel locking mechanism, which is, I believe, a Yema exclusive. So how that works is you would just unscrew the crown, and then that loosens the locking mechanism, and that allows you to move the bezel. It's a 60 click bezel. You just line it up there, and then you just screw the crown back down. And that's it. And then your bezel does not move. Winding, typical of a nice higher end watch. Everything moves real well. See if you can hear that. Everything functions smoothly. No grinding, no grittiness. Everything's real nice. Well put together. This, of course, isn't the black PVD. You can get the 41 millimeter automatic also in steel. The quartz versions only come in 39 millimeter. And the quartz versions only come with a mineral crystal versus a sapphire crystal. So an idea of the size of the watch on the wrist. I have probably medium-sized wrists. And then compared to, I have a 39 millimeter Vostok. So you can kind of get an idea of the size difference between a 39 and a 41. Not much of a difference, but a little bit. Those of you with smaller wrists definitely want to go with a 39 millimeter size. For this black PVD model, I believe currently they're retailing for $1,200. The steel version is coming in right around $1,000. The quartz black is $549, and the steel quartz is $499. When I pre-ordered this, I believe I paid just under $1,000 US dollars. And again, that's good value for money, especially for an in-house movement made in France of fairly high quality. After 24 hours of wearing this watch, I found it wore very comfortably on the wrist. The strap is a little thin. I may swap that out to something different, but for now I'm going to use it, wear it, see how it wears. If it starts to fray and fall apart, I'll just replace the strap with something better. But it's adequate for what it is. The bracelet that it comes with, I should show you that. Is a black PVD stainless steel bracelet with a locking clasp. Move the watch. It wants to focus on that. There we go. Has the Yema insignia on it. And again, it's all stainless steel, PVD coated. I would be curious what the wear and tear on this PVD coating would be. So at some point I may put this bracelet back on the watch and wear it and see how that wears, especially in the area below the wrist where you would be doing the majority of rubbing against things. But that'll be for another time. For now, we're just going to add this to the collection and enjoy it as often as possible. And like I said, if you're wanting to spend something around $1,000 for something completely unique that you're not likely going to run across another one in the United States, Yema is definitely worth looking into. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask. Until then, happy hunting.